Here are 6 reasons why you need an international medical cover. Hi, my name is Coach Munene, your investments and insurance expert. International medical cover is one of the most exciting covers to sell in this economy, and especially in this industry. And the reason why is because, number one, an international medical cover is one of the most generous covers I've ever seen. I'm talking about a cover limit from as little as 10 million to as high as 1 billion. Imagine an inpatient cover that has a 1 billion limit. So the options are 10 million, you can take a 10 million inpatient cover, a 25 million inpatient cover, a 400 million inpatient cover, 700 all the way to 1 billion. Hata huwezi maliza 1 billion. Okay? When I look at most Kenyans, a lot of Kenyans have a 1 million medical cover. 1 million. And that is not sufficient, especially if you are admitted for cancer, kidney failure, liver disease. If you get a stroke or a heart attack, a 1 million cover will not be sufficient, Kenyans. And I've seen this, and the reason why I say this is because I've seen a situation, not once, not twice, where an insurance company will tell a hospital, a Tier 1 hospital, especially a Tier 1 hospital, and you know what I mean by Tier 1 hospital, they will tell them, transfer this person to a Tier 2 hospital. Because they know even the bed charges there will not be, with your 1 million cover, you'll not be able to afford that. Yeah, they know that you will not even last more than 1 day. So they insist and they tell the hospital, take an ambulance, transfer that person from Tier 1 hospital to Tier 2 hospital, because they know a 1 million cover is not sufficient. And the reason for this, ladies and gentlemen, is because healthcare has become quite expensive. Often you'll find that a 1 million cover will have a capping or a limit, a sub-limit for pre-existing conditions that I've mentioned. So they'll not pay the 1 million for cancer and for stroke. They will pay a sub-limit, say, for example, 300,000. So with 300,000, your insurance company will not admit you in a Tier 1 hospital. I know this is a bit shocking for most of us, but that is the reality. However, with an international medical cover, with a 1 billion limit, you will be admitted anywhere. Yes. Okay, so that's the beauty about international medical covers, is the level of generosity in terms of the limits that they have. Number 2 reason why you need international medical cover is because of the outpatient benefit limits. I'm talking about a limit from, I think the least I've seen is 200,000, all the way to 1 billion. Yes, 200,000, 400,000, 600,000, 1 billion. If you buy a 50,000 local cover outpatient limit with a 50,000 limit, so you've bought an outpatient cover that has a 50,000 limit, I can tell you that can be depleted within a day. You do an MRI, scan, you pick medication from the hospital's pharmacy. I can assure you, the next time you go and visit that hospital, they'll tell you, Mr. Kinuthia, please come. You have to top up. Yes, you've exhausted your limit. Yes. Yeah, because healthcare is expensive. And again, like I said, Kenyans, we love going to Tier 1 hospitals. So because of that, your 50,000 benefit limit will not be sufficient. But if you have 200,000, you have 600,000, you can go as many times as you want. Okay? Number 3 reason, which is my favorite reason, is the dental benefit. And this is from a personal experience. So the international medical cover will give you limits of 60,000, 100,000, 200,000. I think the highest I've seen is 600,000. A local cover, 10,000, is enough for one visit, and you might even have to top up, depending on the dental practice you go to. My personal example, I had, and this time I was actually even employed, I had this dental cover, and I went to have my teeth checked because I think I had like a cavity or something. So when I'm on the table, on the dentist's chair, my face is facing up and the mouth is wide open, the doctor tells me, hey, Munene, you'll need a crown. I'm like, oh, sure. Yes, let's get a crown. He says, oh, yeah, but your insurance does not cover. Your employer does not cover for crowns. I'm like, okay, sure. So how much is a crown? He starts, I think, at 8,000 and I don't know what. I'm like, okay, I'm already here. I'm already lying on this dentist chair. I might as well go ahead with it, you know? But yes, you can imagine if you didn't have the cash, So a local dental cover might not be sufficient. And in fact, let me tell you, things like, because I've seen a lot of parents doing this for their children, things like braces, those braces, yeah, that they put to correct, I think they correct the teeth or dental formula. Most insurance covers don't pay for that, yeah, unless a corporate cover, okay, which you've negotiated with the insurer. Most covers do not pay for those braces, yeah. But with an international medical cover, and in fact, braces are so expensive, it might actually be covered, but your benefit limit might not be enough. You probably have like a 20,000. Braces are not 20,000; they're expensive. So imagine with an international medical cover where you have a 200,000 limit. Yes, your children can get braces. Okay. So that's number 3. Number 4 reason is because, and I say this because I have an example of a client who has afforded. It's an affordable cover. And I know a lot of people will come and tell me, oh, Munene, international medical cover, ni expensive, see expensive. 30-year-old client, I'll not give her name, but 30-year-old client took a 25 million inpatient cover. She's paying 150,000 per year. So yes, you can afford, okay? You can afford. Some of you can afford 10 million covers, 5 million covers, local covers, then I can guarantee you can afford an international medical cover. So number 4, they are quite affordable. Yeah. And Kenyans, if you want an example, you have to give us your age and family size. So for us to give you a quote, a suitable quote, we'll leave a link down here below for you to give us your age, your family size, and tell us the limit you want. So do you want a 25 million? Do you want a 10 million? Do you want a 1 billion? So we will give you, based on the selection you make, and your age and family size. Yeah. So I get a lot of questions of, Munene, how much is it? I need this information. So take the link below and we'll get back to you with the quote. The other reason why, and this is number 5, the other reason why an international medical cover is important is because of how I talked about generosity, okay? But they usually come with no waiting period. And they do not cap the limits, okay? So remember that example I talked about, a local cover. Yes, it's a 1 million inpatient cover, but if you get diagnosed with cancer, kidney, they will cap it to what we call a pre-existing and chronic benefit limit of, say, for example, 300,000. That is a local example. In the international medical cover, you have 25 million inpatient limit. Your chronic pre-existing limit for cancer, for all those diseases, kidney, liver, is 25 million. So there's no capping. Comprende? Are we together up to that far? And there's no waiting period. Yes. They accept you. By the way, so long as they've accepted you, so you will fill a form, an underwriting form, an application form. We will take it through an underwriting process where we'll review how you've answered the form and then come back to you with an offer. Most times the offers are, we've accepted you on full terms, on full benefits. Yes, that is how generous and how amazing an international medical cover is. And the reason is this. Hear me out. In the developed countries, medical cover is like having a mobile phone these days. Everybody and their mother has one, and their grandmother as well. They take insurance very seriously. They take and buy medical insurance not because they are unwell, not because mom is admitted in the hospital, that's why you call Munene for medical cover. No, they buy because they know how important insurance is. And it's not only medical, by the way, even life insurance. The average Joe has a life insurance. Everybody has a life insurance. So now, insurance is a game of numbers. So you're talking about millions and millions of Europeans are covered. Okay? And they don't take it because they're unwell. They take it just in case. You'll even find somebody who will tell you, I've been on cover for 30 years, I've never used it. It's because they take it because they understand risk. They pass risk. They pass on risk to somebody else. They don't take risk in their own hands. Yeah? So that when risk occurs, they have somebody who can step in for them, an insurance company. And like here, how many calls have I received? Mzazi ameadmitiwa, nipatie medical cover sahi. Jemaima, it is too late. You should have come when they were healthy. You should have come kitambo. Okay? So the reason why they are very generous, those huge limits, 1 billion, you're hearing 1 billion, and you're hearing there's no waiting period, there's no cap on the pre-existing chronic conditions, is because the law of numbers. I wouldn't expect our local insurers to do that. No, not with the kind of uptick we have. What are we? 3%? Have we ever even reached 4%, by the way? 3% uptick? No, I don't expect that. It's not doable. Those numbers just don't make sense. Okay? So the reason international medical cover, therefore, is that generous, therefore, has no waiting periods, and usually will not cap your pre-existing chronic conditions, is because they are not even. I think Africa for them is a drop. Africa is a drop in the ocean. The numbers they are talking about in Europe, in the US, in these other countries, Asia, is huge numbers. So even if you're admitted and they pay for you a 1 billion bill, they will not put it in their headline news. It's kidogo. Yeah, because there they of course they're dealing with bigger numbers. But remember, the pool is wide, is huge. Okay? And they just don't buy it when they fall sick. They buy it as a necessity. It's like your bill, your in fact it's part of the bill. It's part of the monthly bill. You know the way you pay utilities, you pay electricity, you pay water. It's the same thing. Insurance for them is a monthly expense. And we're getting there. Yeah, I am so confident of you Kenyans. Lastly, drum roll, please. Oh, please. the Mount Kenya in me. The international medical cover is wildly and widely accepted. So there are usually three options. You can pick an Africa and Asia option. Okay, you can pick Africa, Asia, Europe. You can pick worldwide, including USA, meaning that if you travel to any part of the world, and most of these international insurance companies will have hospitals across the world. You can't even finish. The list is so huge, you can't even finish going through that list. Means you'll walk in, be treated, and they'll be sorted out by the insurance company. You'll be on credit. You don't have to pay and be reimbursed. Okay? So it's wildly and wildly accepted. Yeah? And actually what I've seen locally, this is so funny. I've seen locally that my clients who have an international medical cover will usually get what we call a pre-auth approval 3 times faster. 3 times faster than a local insurance company. And the reason is very easy to figure out. Is because, again, remember, there's no waiting period. There are no pre-existing. I mean, they don't limit the pre-existing. So they will see, oh, he's there for approve. Yeah. So you'll usually find that the international medical cover client has a 3 times faster pre-auth approval time than a local insurance cover. Okay. The other thing I've also seen, and this actually even comes from people who work my friends who work in hospitals. So I have a lot of nurses, doctors who work in hospitals that I worked with previously, and they will usually tell me, imagine Munene, we prefer international medical cover. Na si ubaguzi. It's just that it's very easy to administer. The approvals are usually faster, and I get it. And I work with both local and international, because we are still a developing country. We are still heading there, and I know we are going to get there. Kenya is actually a very fast-paced country, and we adopt very fast. So I still have hope. However, I still recommend an international medical cover anytime, any day.